everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fahrenheit TV. I am your host and producer, Farrah June, and I am so excited to be back at BNN Studios. It's been an entire year, and we're back here today to do a cooking segment with you where I'm going to show you how to make some delicious vegan fish tacos. Stay tuned. Coming to you live at BNN Studios in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay tuned. My name is Farrah June, and welcome to the all-new show, Fahrenheit TV. So excited to be back for season 5 of our show. And this year, we're going to do things a little differently. Fahrenheit TV. Since 2014, we've been putting people in the spotlight who live in their greatness. Whether they're expressing themselves through their art, their activism, or their work, we're inspired by those who choose to live audaciously. Season 5 is here, and although we're temporarily out of the TV studio, we're committed to continue to bring you stories that will uplift your soul. Catch all of our new monthly episodes right here on our YouTube channel. Everyone, welcome back to Fahrenheit TV. I've missed you. I even started a little bit, but I missed you so much. I hope you are finding peace on this Thursday evening and that you and your family and your loved ones are in good spirits and staying healthy out there as we continue to survive this ongoing pandemic. Again, my name is Farrah June, the host of Fahrenheit TV, and today we're going to do a cooking segment, and it's going to be a vegan inspired dish. So I don't know if you guys have been following me on social media, but last year I decided during the pandemic, when I had a little bit of time off to kind of think, stop and reflect, and I was like, you know what, I've always wanted to try this vegan journey, you know what I mean? It's always been really interesting to me. I naturally have always loved vegetables since a kid. Being a Haitian American is just part of my daily diet. And, I've been really intrigued by some of these vegan-inspired dishes, just to try them out. And so last year, I was like, all right, I'm going to try this vegan journey. And I did a whole, basically 90 days of being vegan. And it was great. It was a little difficult sometimes because, it's kind of hard to adjust your whole life when you used to been eating meat and dairy and all that other stuff. But actually, growing up, when I started to get into my mid-20s, I got forced to stop eating so much dairy because I became lactose intolerant. And then after I watched What the Health, I think on Netflix, a documentary that kind of showed you, the benefits of being a vegan and, how eating meat all the time is probably not the healthiest for us, I was like, all right, I'm committed to trying this vegan journey. And so I did it for 90 days, and after 90 days, I continued to do it every day, and it was great. I was making all of these vegan-inspired dishes. I was seeing for some of our, favorite Instagram influencers and vegan chefs, and I even got the opportunity to interview some Latinx vegan chefs. Shout out to them, Coco, and it was awesome. But then what happened, to be honest with you, is I started having a little bit more than once a week cheat meal. So what I did when I first started was I was like, all right, I'm not gonna just go, all the way cold and, take out all the meat in my life, because I used to eat a lot of meat, basically eat like a king for breakfast. I used to have like ham, bacon, sausage, all of that just in the morning because it would keep me full. But I was like, all right, it might be a little shocking to my system. So I'm gonna have, once a week, I'm gonna do a cheat meal. And I was doing that during my vegan journey, and then after a while, I didn't have to do that cheat meal anymore because I started really falling in love with all these vegan dishes and stuff I was doing. But then, as soon as it started getting cold, the fall and the winter started coming around, and I started working overnights, it just became a little bit more difficult to get vegan meals all the time, because sometimes I was just really too tired to cook up a vegan meal. And so I would go to my 2 things that I love the most for my cheat meal, which is pepperoni pizza and salmon. And I know you're like, what? I know. There's something about like fresh salmon that makes me happy. There's something about pepperoni pizza that brings a Colgate smile to my face. And so instead of having them once a week, maybe twice or 3 times a week. And so yeah, I was a little disappointed because I was like, like I'm trying, but this is hard, like to prep all the time. Sometimes I just don't have the energy. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I finally, I'm no longer working overnights, and I'm trying to get back into doing my vegan journey every day instead of, maybe 4 times a week. And so, yeah, I'm committed to fixing this, if that makes any sense. I'm committed to being like vegan all the time because I feel like right now in my life, I'm basically about 70% vegan. Because I do shop vegan. Everything I buy is vegan or vegetarian. But when I go out to restaurants, it's like, I don't always want to get a salad or, I want to get something else like pepperoni pizza or salmon. But anyways, since we are learning and we're thriving and we're progressing, we're going to get back into the journey. And today, I'm sorry for that long spiel, but today we're going to try to make a dish that I really love. I know that you guys are all fans of tacos, right? And I know today's a Thursday, but we're going to make it Taco Thursday. And we're going to make some vegan-inspired fish tacos. You're probably like, Farrah, how do you make vegan-inspired fish tacos? Well, all of our ingredients are here, and the main ingredient that will kind of give us that fish taste is our hearts of palm. So I've never even heard of this vegetable in my life, to be honest with you. But after, last year when I decided to become a vegan, I started, being introduced to all sorts of vegetables I probably never tasted in my life. And this is one of them, hearts of palm. It's actually really delicious, and when you fry it up, especially when you add the right seasoning, to be honest with you, vegan is like pretty easy to go through. I know some people are like, nah, I can't do it. But if you like meat and if you season like certain vegetables that could give you something close to it, like mushrooms or hearts of palm with the right seasoning, it could still taste like fish or chicken or beef or whatever you're trying to make. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a trial and error. But anyways, this is what we're going to use today. So to make these delicious fish tacos, what we're first going to do is, of course, every chef, first wash your hands. Our hands are washed. And we're going to start off by seasoning our fish while we make everything else. So I did forget my my cutting board, but it's okay because, if anything 2020 taught us is to just kind of work with what you got, you know what I mean? So we have these amazing recycled plates that we're going to use, yeah, we're going to start seasoning our hearts of palm. So I got this from I got these hearts of palms from Whole Foods. So, and they're pretty like affordable. So we're going to first open it up. Try not to make a mess. All right, so we open it up. Got my little tongs here. Ooh. And so when they come out kind of like this, like they kind of look, they kind of look like these little spears right here, right? It's like, ooh, like little trees, like little, trees anyways. They come out looking like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to slice them in half to kind of flatten them out. Or, if you want, you could always make them like into like maybe like little cubes or whatever if you want to like have that little chopped up on your taco. It's really, it's really up to you. But I'm going to slice these in half and then, yeah, we're going to go from there. So you just slice them in half. Boom. This one I'm not going to do all the way. Yep. Not all the way. I'm going to go like that. And so this is kind of how it looks, kind of like flat, you know what I mean? Let's do one more, because even though we're in the studio by ourselves today, we still have awesome studio technicians and directors who might want to try this dish. So we're going to make some for everyone. That's how it's supposed to be, right? So slicing that in half. These look gorgeous and delicious. They're huge, perfect. I'm going to put this extra on the side over here. On the side over here. Okay, so now you kind of have them, you know, sliced up. So now I'm going to add the seasoning. So fish seasoning, I mean, it's really up to you how you like your fish. For me, I personally like my fish to be a little like lemony, a little spicy, and just delicious. So those are kind of the seasonings I'm going to work with to kind of give me that flavor. So more like salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, maybe some paprika. Some of the seasonings that I have today, they have, you know, some citrus like lemon flavors in them, garlic powder, you know what I mean? Like really give some love to these vegetables, because it's really what's going to make the taste come out and make it kind of taste like fish. So let's do that. I have all my seasonings here. I even got some cilantro, you know, make it a little fancy. So first thing you want to do is to make like kind of like basically the frying base, I'm going to use cornmeal. And if you do use cornmeal, make sure you get like the fine cornmeal. You don't want to get it too grainy. So this is kind of like the extra fine cornmeal. So we're going to add that first. I should have got some scissors, but it's cool. You could use a knife. Just be careful. Okay. So I kind of just, you know, I didn't really measure anything, but if you wanted to measure, depending how much you're making, maybe like half a cup of, you know, the cornmeal. So I'm just gonna eye it out, because you don't really need that much, you know what I mean? Depending how much you're making. I would say for a can of heart to palm, like maybe like half a cup to 3/4 of a cup. Okay, so we got that. Boom. Got our cornmeal. Now we're gonna add our seasoning. So like I said, I like my fish to be a little spicy, so we're gonna go with some cayenne pepper. We're gonna add a little bit of that on there, right? Boom, 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 boom. If you don't like spicy, then don't put cayenne pepper in it, you know? Don't put pepper at all. Then, you know, I love Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. But they have this citrus garlic kind of mix thing, which basically has like onion powder, has salt, pepper, lemon and lime, and black pepper in it. And so it's like a perfect little, you know, because I did say I like it kind of citrusy to have my fish kind of taste like that. So we're going to put a little bit of that in there. Woo! Yes, it's going to be good. If you're like wondering about like, oh, how much should I put in? Let's just say like, you know, a teaspoon of each, and then kind of fill it out to see if you need a little bit more. And then Trader Joe's also has this like vegan chickenless seasoning salt, which basically has the same thing except that it has turmeric in it. It's not say I want my fish to taste like chicken, but all these other ingredients will give it a little kick, like a little pow, you know what I mean? Because you want it to taste good. A lot of times people are intimidated to try vegan dishes because they're worried about the taste. But if you do great seasoning, especially seasoning that you like, you can make it taste however you like. You know, you can make it taste like your other non-vegan dishes in a way. You know what I mean? Oh, also I put a little dash of pepper, just a little bit, not too much. And then we have some pink salt that I'm just going to put on there too. Just a little bit, not too much salt. If I could open it. Oh, Lord. Can I open it? I could open it. It's not opening up for, oh, there we go, because it's the top. It's been a while, guys. Sorry. Anyways, just a little bit of salt, not too much. Because you have all these other, you know, seasonings that you don't need a lot of salt. You don't want it to be too salty. All right, so a little bit of that. Now, basically, we have our, you know, all of our seasoning mixed with our fine cornmeal. And what we're going to do is we're going to shake it up, right? Shake it up to mix it up, shake it up to mix it up, shake it up to mix it up. Boom. Now it's all mixed. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to add our hearts of palm. So mine is like my slices of hearts of palm are pretty like, you know, thick and, you know, like kind of big, but I kind of like them like that because when I take that bite of that fish taco, I kind of want to get that, you know, I want to get a nice bite, like, you know, a nice juicy bite. So I kept mine like that. Some videos I've seen where vegan, you know, experienced vegan chefs have done this when they're making like vegan fish sandwiches, is that they kind of will flatten out the hearts of palm. So if you want to flatten that out, you can. Since we're making a taco, I decided, you know, to just kind of make them like this, you know, little chunks, just to like boom, 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 put them out like that. So it's up to you. Like I said, you could always chop it up and make it smaller if that's your thing. You know, follow your gut. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place all of these slices in here, right? Boom, boom, boom. We're placing them. Oh, I see this one and I feel like it's a little thick, so I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm just gonna open it up a little bit more. I apologize again for forgetting my cutting board, but you know, things happen and we're making it work. All right, boom, bow, in there. So now we're gonna go back to doing what you said, shaking it up. So we're gonna shake it up, we're gonna shake it up, we're gonna shake it up, we're gonna shake, 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 shake it up, we're gonna shake it up, we're gonna shake it up, we're gonna shake, 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 shake. All right, so shake it up for maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, you know. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this sit aside and kind of just, you know, get all those seasonings in. We're just gonna let it just sit in there and get all the goodness. So we're gonna put this aside. And if you didn't want to do like the cornmeal, say you just wanted to do the seasoning first and then dip it into the cornmeal, you could do that too. Also, if you're a person that's like, yo, I don't feel like, you know, putting all these seasonings together, it's overwhelming me. Totally fine, I get it. You could always go to your local grocery store and get like a fish fry that's already made. You know what I mean? Boom, it's already made. This one, fish fry already made, has really of the similar ingredients I just kind of put into this little fish fry mix. So you could do that too. Whatever fits your vision, your heart, follow it. So yeah, we're going to just put our hearts of palm aside over here. And next thing we're gonna work on is pickles. I don't know if you guys have heard of pickles before, but it's basically like a little Haitian relish that we kind of put on basically everything. We eat it mostly with like fried pork, which we call griot. We put it on plantains, we put it on rice, basically fish, basically almost everything, almost like every meat, you know what I mean? It just gives it a little spice, a little pizzazz. So I thought, you know what? I kind of want to put some pickles on my fish tacos, you know what I mean? I'm not really like a tartar sauce. Actually, yeah, I actually don't like tartar sauce at all, but it looks good next to the fish when I see it in pictures, but I'm not a fan. So I was like, you know what? Let me make it the way I like it. So I decided, let's make some pickles today. So what you need for pickles, right? Definitely a cutting board, but if you don't have a cutting board, just find something that you could cut. And what you need is you need fresh cabbage. My mom also recommended that you buy fresh cabbage because you could buy like, you know, cut and shredded cabbage, kind of how like they have carrots that come like that. Or like they even have like the mix, like the cabbage mix where it has like carrots, cabbage, and like red cabbage, I think. But it's not as fresh as getting the real cabbage, you know? When you get the real cabbage, you get like the good flavor. It's not dried out, you know what I'm saying? So we got us a little, kind of like a baby cabbage. Usually cabbage comes huge. So we got some fresh cabbage. You also need some red peppers and green peppers. You need some hot peppers. I got some orange and red hot peppers. You need lime juice. I brought a lemon just in case. And you need a red onion. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop up all those ingredients kind of fine as we could, as fine and small as we could. And we're kind of gonna mix them into this little jar that I put a little bit of vinegar in. While we're doing that, I think the first thing we probably should do is heat up our oil because we're gonna fry our heart to palm. So let me just, you know, put this on. I'm gonna put it on low, you know what I mean? We don't wanna burn up me and then. And I'm adding vegetable oil. So I'm just gonna have that heated up while we do this, you know what I mean? So that way it's one less thing to worry about. So I'm just adding some vegetable oil. If you're wondering how much oil, I'm not putting too much because you want it to deep fry, but since these are like, you know, they're not that huge, maybe I would say what's in there is probably like a cup of oil, you know what I mean? But it depends. If you want it to be more deep, you could add a little bit more. I feel like I should be fine, but actually, I totally forgot. I'm going to make some fried plantains on the side because I feel like we need a good meal today. So I'm gonna put a little bit more. Let's say this is about 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. I put my heat on low, and I'm just gonna let it, you know, heat up over there. And okay, let's get started on our pickles. So first thing we need is fresh cabbage. Since this is like really small, I'm just gonna cut just, oops, different knife. I'm gonna cut just a little bit, like a little thin slice. We don't need that much. Ooh, look how beautiful that looks. Wow. You know, there's something beautiful about how vegetables are made. You know, they're just like already here for us to eat and to enjoy. Beautiful, beautiful. So what you want to do, if you have like I forgot what they call it, that thing that you kind of like shred, like what are those shredders? You could use that. That'd be probably way easier. Totally forgot that to bring that today. So I'm just gonna, you know, do the old school way, and I'm just gonna cut mine into slices. Watch your fingers if you are cutting. If you are younger and you need help with the knife, please go seek an adult to help you out. But basically, I'm just cutting them into thin slices right now. Just little thin slices, and then I'm gonna cut those into kind of half. So I'm gonna try to make them look as shredded as I could. But I only use a little bit because I'm kind of making this for me. You know, most of the time when I see pickles, especially in restaurants, you know, they make them in huge jars. My mom growing up, she would make them in like, you know, like those pasta jars that you get. So yeah, she would make them in those because, you know, it's like feeding the family. But since it's basically me and you today, I'm just going to make a little bit. So yeah, just cutting them into slices. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to cut those into slices too. So hopefully you kind of see what I'm doing. Again, it's always recommended to get fresh cabbage because it'll taste a lot better. Also, another thing about pickles is that it tastes a lot better the longer you let it sit. So like today, it probably is going to taste like, you know, a little... like it has to sit a little bit longer. Like it'll taste good, but I think like usually when I see pickles, they let it sit in the fridge almost forever, but like say for like at least 24 hours, so that way all the juices and the spices could really get into the cabbage and the other vegetables in there. It tastes a lot better, but we'll be fine. So I cut that as small as I could. I put that on the side, because we're going to add that into our little jar that has a little bit of vinegar in it. So boom, right? That's done. It's, you know, better if you even have it even finer, but I kind of like a little bit of, you know, a little bit of thickness, not too thick on my my fish taco. So next we're going to get our beautiful red pepper. Look how gorgeous it is. You know, I have to say, God is the best artist. Look at the incredible things the Almighty have created for us to just eat and enjoy and live and be healthy with. So anyways, we're going to cut these into little slices. We don't need a lot. This is like my family's recipe. I know there's Haitians that make them a little different. You know, everybody, you know, adds their little thing to it to make it the way they like. But this is what I kind of learned. So I just took a small slice of each, right? And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut that into slices and then cut it horizontally. So I'm cutting it vertically now, and then I'm going to cut it horizontally in just little thin slices. Again, if you have one of those fancy machines that just cut things for you, use it. Do it. You know what I mean? Invest in those tools if they make you happy. But if you want to do it the old school way with me, this is a good learning, you know, opportunity. So yep, cut them vertically, then cut them horizontally. And then we're gonna go from there. Boom, 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 boom. Right there, right? We're doing the same thing to the red pepper. I always found that when I sing, that means I'm gonna really enjoy this food. It's almost like I'm telling the food, listen, we're going to be in a great marriage. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. I know my slices probably could be a lot better, a lot stronger, but please don't judge me. I'm just trying to learn. Hopefully you're doing a better job than me. Hopefully you got one of those chopping machines so you don't have to go through all this if you don't want to. But if you do want to, keep going. Ain't no judgment here. All right, boom. So we got 3 of our ingredients. The last thing you want to cut up, the last 2 things. Let's save our hot peppers for last. So we have our red onion. You only need like just a little bit. I'm just gonna cut it like right here. Just a little bit of a slice. Boom. Oh man. By the way, one thing that I really love about vegan dishes is how colorful they are. You know what I mean? Like, look at all these colors. We have the entire rainbow here on our set. So, onions. By the way, all of these vegetables have been washed, so please wash your vegetables before you cook with them. So anyways, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cut it vertically, and then we're gonna cut it horizontally. You know, I feel like you got this. Let me take out my little yellow, going with the whole flow today. You know, bring some sunshine to you on this rainy Thursday. But anyways, boom. Okay, we already have our shredded carrots, so I think I'm just gonna take a little piece of that, just a little bit of the carrots. This has been pre-washed, so it is good. And I'm just gonna add it right here, just a little bit, maybe like half a cup. If I was to think about measurements, you don't need too much, because all this is gonna get mixed in. Okay, boom, half a cup. Close that. Okay, the last thing you're gonna need is chili peppers, right? Hot peppers. This is not too hot, but you know, with hot peppers, it still could be dangerous. So if you have gloves, you could always cut them with gloves. Put your gloves on, cut these up, and then do everything else. But if you're like, I think I'll be fine, then just be careful. Don't touch your face at all. Don't touch your eyes especially, okay? But anyways, these are chili peppers. They're not too hot, but they're just gonna do enough kind of to just, you know, make the pickles come together, right? Especially when you put it with the vinegar and stuff, and the lime. Listen, it's about to be a whole thing. So, you don't have to even chop these up. What I do is I just kind of cut them in half. Like I leave one half because I just let one half kind of just like mix in on the bottom with our vinegar, and then maybe the other one I take just a little slice of it like that, and I cut that up. Cause the beauty of what I've learned about pickles is that like when you let the pepper kind of simmer in with like the lime and the vinegar, those juices mixed with all the other vegetables we just cut up is really what's gonna give it that flavor, that little hot flavor, you know, make this relish really good. So you don't need a lot, because you don't wanna overwhelm your taste buds, you know what I mean? Like, you don't wanna put too much peppers, and then next thing you know, you can't even taste the vegetables because you're like, it's just so hot, it's so hot. So that's why I'm not putting a lot. I just cut a little bit, and then we're just gonna let this, you know, mix on the bottom. The red one we could save, you know, especially because this is small. If you had like a bigger jar you were making, then definitely do it. So yeah, we got that going on. So basically we have all of our ingredients. So one thing my mom recommended that I do, by the way, again, this is our jar full of vinegar, right? Again, I said about like 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I didn't put too much. They like to put Maggi. I mean, we put Maggi in everything. Most Haitians put Maggi in everything. So we're just going to put a little bit of Maggi. You don't have to do this again. Every, you know, Haitian household kind of has like their own little recipe to this. But Oh, wow, 20 minutes left. All right, we're gonna make this work. So anyways, we're just gonna cut this in half and we're gonna kind of mix that on the bottom with our vinegar a little bit and then just let everything else sit. And then we can get started frying up all of our heart to palm and our plantains. So what I did was I kind of took the half and I broke it up because it's hard. And I'm just gonna pour it into here, that half. I didn't put a lot, I just put half of this, right? Boom. And what we're gonna do like we did the first time, we're gonna shake it up. Shaking it up is like one of our favorite things to do. Shake it up, 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 shake it up. All right, so that's mixed in there. And then we're also gonna take our lime, beautiful, beautiful lime, and we're going to put that also in there. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put my heat from low to medium because we're gonna get ready to fry. So I'm just like making it a little soft so I could squeeze it in there. I'm still working on my biceps, so I'm not that strong yet, but boom. So we're gonna cut it in half. And I'm just gonna put half of that lime in there. Wow. Just half. Hopefully I didn't put too much vinegar. Okay, boom. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our ingredients that we made. So I'm gonna put my carrots and my cabbage and my peppers and my onions and my hot chili peppers. I probably cut up a lot, but it's all right. Nothing will go to waste. You could always get a bigger jar and put everything else in there. It's gonna be good, don't worry. Pow, pow, pow. Do, 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 do. We're just gonna add all of that in there. I think I might be able to fit everything. Maybe I did a pretty good job. Look at me, amateur. Go, Farrah. Sometimes you just gotta hype yourself up. You know what I mean? Give yourself your own flowers. Boom. Wow. Thank you, God. Thank you, ancestors. All right. What you're gonna do is, I think I'm gonna put a little squeeze of the other half of the lime that we have on top. Bow, 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 bow. Okay. And we're gonna put the top on and we're gonna shake it up. So again, pickles usually taste way better when you leave it for at least 24 hours. You know what I mean? To really sit in all of those ingredients, the juices and the vegetables to really take a little bit of that. But I think today it'll taste okay, but it's better if you leave it for at least 24 hours at least. If you leave it longer, it's gonna taste even better. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna let that sit. Boom. All right, now we can get to frying. Yay. But yeah, I do love being a vegan. I'll have to say that before I started working overnights and I was just doing the vegan journey last summer, I noticed that I had a lot more, way more energy. I slept a little bit better. I definitely digested a lot better. And yeah, there's so many benefits to, being vegan. So I would say just try it. I know a lot of times we are just, we're a little nervous to try because we're thinking about the flavor, but I'm telling you, it's all about the seasoning. If you season vegetables, the right way, it will taste with like a lot of things that you enjoy, like chicken, like beef. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same, but because veganism has, been like growing, there's so many cooks who have really been, doing all these experiments. They're not amateurs like me, and they're making things taste delicious. So I would say I recommend that you try it. So anyways, now all we gotta do is fry up our ingredients. So what I decided to do was, okay, I know we're gonna make fish tacos and stuff, but I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna need something extra on the side because I just need like a really filling meal. So I was like, why don't we make some plantains? I love plantains, right? So to save time, I already chopped them up. And so we're going to fry those. If you don't know how to chop up a plantain, what you want to do is you want to cut off these ends, right? And then you want to remove the skin. And then once you remove the skin, they'll look like this. And what you want to do is kind of chop them diagonally. So yeah, I already did that so we could save some time. So we're going to just start frying up our plantains. So again, remember I told you I put my oil at medium, right? We don't want to put it too high because we don't want to burn up the studio, but also because I think you don't need the heat to be too much. So we're just going to start deep frying our plantains. Woo! I have to be honest with you. When I was young, I used to be so nervous to fry things because I don't know if your parents do this, but like I've seen a lot of Haitian parents especially do this, just Caribbean parents, where they'll like put plantains, for instance, in like salt and water, and then they just put it in here and it's like popping all over the place, and I'm like, whoa, 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 and they're just like battling with it but doing a good job. I don't think I would do a good job. I think I would run away from that situation. So yeah, that's why I always put my heat on medium and I watch it closely. We don't want no accidents. But while that's frying up, I just wanted to say, you know, last year I know it was really different for everyone, but I really appreciate people who were tuning in to our virtual show. So since, you know, the pandemic, we've been virtual, we'll be doing all these interviews with all these amazing people here in our city who are still doing amazing things. They're still living in their greatness. And so many of you tuned in to our virtual episode. So thank you for supporting us. Thank you for continuing to support us. I can't believe we're in season 5. We've been doing this for almost like 8 years, but it's like 7 years now, almost 8. So it's been a really great journey, and I'm really happy to be back at the studio. It does feel a little different, but like in a good way, you know, it's like a new journey, a new turn. So anyways, our plantains are kind of just, you know, frying. They're doing a good job, by the way. Yeah, this is a good fryer. Anyways, also wanted to just tell you guys that, you know, again, the pandemic is still going on. If you feel comfortable to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. Do your research, get vaccinated. If you don't, please wear your mask in public. Please wear your mask, especially if you're going to places with a lot of people. Please wear your mask. Continue to practice social distancing. You know what I mean? COVID is real. So please, I want you to stay safe. I want you to continue to live your life to the fullest. So yeah, I just encourage you to take care of yourself, making sure that you're resting, enjoying the summer. But yes, wear your mask, get tested for COVID, get vaccinated if you're comfortable, and just continue to take care of yourself and social distance. But anyways, all right, so, you know, if you made plantains before, you know, round 1 is just kind of just frying them, you know what I mean? So you're kind of looking for that like golden color, kind of like this, kind of like my beautiful shirt that I made, by the way. Shout out to me, shout out to me, shout out to the Well Project. So this was a commission that they hired me to do last year, and this is my first time putting like kind of like my artwork on my artwork on a shirt for a commission. So it feels really good. I'll put information about the Well Project so you could support that amazing organization. But yeah, anyways. You want your plantains, the first round of frying them, to kind of be kind of golden, you know? This is getting there. It needs maybe like about another minute. So what we're gonna do is, once they're golden, we're going to put them aside, and then we're gonna mash them. Mash them with this great masher. If you don't have, you know, one of these like mashers, these plantain mashers, don't worry. You could always use like 2 plates, put them together. I've seen people do that. How else have I seen people do it? I see people use like different tools, like basically anything that's flat. You just need 2 things to flatten them out. But this you could get at your local grocery store. And yeah, and once you flatten them out, then you refry them. And what the good thing about heart to palm is that, like, once we fry those, they don't take that long to fry. I'm just taking them out right now. So they're beautiful. They're you know, golden, yellow, beautiful. But yeah, the good thing about heart to palm, once we fry that, it fries pretty quick, so that way like the plantains will still be hot when we put the dish together. So boom, you have kind of your plantains that look like this, right? Nice and golden. And what we're gonna do is, you're gonna take your masher, boom, Let me move this out the way. You're gonna take your masher, and what I do is, because it's still hot, you know, the professionals, well, I would say my family and other people that I've seen in the Caribbean do this, they be, you know, they use their hands, nothing, it don't seem like anything scares them. They don't seem like they're scared of oil. I'm scared of oil, so I always use my tongs or like a fork or something, and what I do is I just mash them like this. So, boom, you wanna just mash them like this, right? Nice and easy, and what I do is I just put them right in there to fry again. Boom. It's pretty easy. Like, I love plantains, you know, tostanos, plantanos, whatever you want to call them. They're delicious. They're easy to make. You know, you could also make the sweet ones. I like the green ones the most, but the sweet ones are also delicious. But yeah, I would say it's probably one of the foods that I eat a lot, trying to be in this vegan journey, you know. But anyways, and even growing up, so it's one of the things that I was like, oh, that's easy. I don't have to adjust anything. So anything, boom, that was easy, right? Frying that up, we're gonna put that on the side. And what we're gonna do is once it comes out, we're just gonna let it kind of sink on this, you know, paper towel to kind of soak up the extra oil. And then we could add a little bit of salt on there and just let it sit aside. And then we're gonna fry up our hearts of palm, our hearts of palm. I feel like while that's frying up, we should probably get our taco plate ready. So, it's up to you how you like your tacos. I like crunchy tacos. I like soft tacos. Doesn't really matter to me as long as it's a good taco, you feel me? But today we're going to go with some soft tacos. This is whole wheat, you know what I mean? Nice and delicious, full of fiber, healthy for you. And I'm just going to do 3 of these. It's always good if you have the means to kind of, you know, heat these up. If you could, you just, you know, you could heat them up under the oven, maybe like 10 seconds in the microwave. These are pretty soft already, so we'll be okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line them up like this and just get that ready. So that way that is good. Our plantains are looking good, maybe like 30 more seconds. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep this on the side right now. Then after that, once we fry our hearts of palm, then we can start, you know, building this up. So our plantains look so good. Look at that. Wow, that looks delicious. I'm gonna leave it in a little bit because I want it to be a little crunchy, you know what I mean? Like a nice crunch. So I would say another minute in there. So I don't know, it really depends how you like your taco, right? My taco, I love it to have a little bit of tomatoes, avocado. Like, I really like fresh ingredients. So for my taco today, I'm going to put some tomatoes in there, some avocados. I have some pineapple salsa. Oh my gosh, it's the best salsa I've ever had in my entire life. It's so good. Shout out to Trader Joe's. But anyways, it's so good. I'm going to put a little bit of that. And again, we're going to put our pickles on there. If you like tartar sauce, definitely, you know, put some tartar sauce in there. I will put in, when you look at our blog later on this weekend, hopefully I will put a vegan-inspired tartar sauce recipe for you if you want to continue to keep it vegan. You could put some lettuce on there. You know, however you like your tacos to be. I just like my tacos to be full of freshness and, like, you know, good stuff. And I feel like me making this this interesting pickles that I made for the first time, I think that's gonna give it a little bit of freshness and some goodness. But anyways, let's take out our plantanos, or banan. We like to call it banan in Haitian Creole. So these look amazing. Oh my gosh, wow. Let me show it to the camera because you need to see. Look at this. It looks like my shirt. That's what you need it to look like, okay? So we're just gonna put this in here so it can soak up all the oil on our little paper towel. You know what I mean? You don't ever want to take a bite of a plantain and it's like oily. Nah, we ain't about that life. We ain't about that. So we're just gonna let that sit. And again, I did the plantains first because say you were, you know, cooking this and someone's not really into, you know, fish at all or whatever, even if it's vegan, they're like, I don't really like the flavors. It won't impact the plantains, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm just gonna take some salt and sprinkle a little bit of that on there. You don't need a lot. It's really your preference. You know what I mean? Just to kick it up a little bit. And we're gonna put that on the side while we now fry our heart to palm. I'm gonna do an extra one little shake, right? Boom, 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 boom. I feel like we let it sit for a good minute. Well, a few minutes. So now what we're gonna do, it really smells just like it smells like fish seasoning. I feel like we're getting there. Wow. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fry our heart to palm. So you're just gonna put it right in that oil, right? Again, these don't take too long to fry. I would say maybe like a 5-minute fry, and you are good. You know what I mean? So you just wanna put those. We could put all the pieces, which is amazing. This is great. Boom. All right. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. While we let that fry up, we can start building our tacos. All right. So I kind of forgot my lettuce too. You know, I was running around all over the place today, but it's cool. So we're going to take our little cutting board, our handmade cutting board, and we're going to start cutting up a little bit of our fresh tomatoes. So taking it off the vine, I'm going to cut my tomatoes small. So again, make sure you wash all your vegetables. Keep it nice and fresh. I took just actually maybe I need a little bit more, just in case people want to try it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut them. I think I'm gonna like kind of cube these out. Maybe I'll do one taco with it sliced like this. You know what I mean? Give it some variety, and then after that, the other one I will cube it up. And normally too, you know, I'm just like extending this to make it longer, but you can make this meal like definitely like under 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Once you know what to do, then you're like, oh, this is like pretty easy to make. So, boom. I just cut them in slices, and I'm going to take like half and kind of cube those out. Okay. So we have some slice over there, some cubed out. And I also wanted some avocados in there. I feel like it would be good if you had like a little, you know, spread on the bottom. One time what I did when I was making these fish tacos is I kind of took my avocado with some vegan mayo and some cilantro. And what I did was I blended it together to kind of make a spread. So you could do that if you like. You know what I mean? This is, look at this avocado. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So our hearts of palm are doing good, by the way. They're just frying up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice this avocado to make some slices. But yeah, if you want, like, you know, say you want to make some chipotle mayo, whatever, always a vegan way to make it. Vegan mayo is, you know, available in a lot of places. So boom, we got our avocado. And I think, what else did I want to put in there? Oh, we're going to put our pickles in there. Yeah, I think we're pretty much good. I'm keeping it simple today. So let me just kind of turn our heart to palm to make sure that it's doing good. It's doing great. It's like you want them to be kind of golden brown. Kind of how like our plantain was golden, you kind of want them to be golden as well. So 10 minutes left. We're going to make this plate. Okay, so now, oops, I forgot a spoon. It's cool. So I'm just going to take some avocado, and we're going to put it, we're just going to start building up our tacos. So put in some slices there. Put in some slices here. I think it's going to be a nice little fresh bite. Okay. And we're putting some slices here. You could put more avocado too. You know, however you like it. I love avocado. So, but for the purpose of this, I'm just going to keep it simple. They each kind of get 2 little slices. Boom. Yes. Yes. Go for the avocado. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to put some of my chopped tomatoes there. Yum, yum, yum. Chopped tomatoes here. Yum, yum, yum. If you're not a tomato person, then don't put tomatoes on it, you know. Put whatever you like in your tacos. Again, make this taco your taco. You know what I mean? Make it the way you like to eat it. Okay. Some of them will have a lot of tomatoes. I think it'll still be good. Okay. Now that we have that, and all right, now that we have that, then I think we should put some of our pineapple salsa on it as well. This is a brand new jar, so boom. Deliciousness. I know this is not going to be the best. I forgot my spoon, but it's cool. I'm going to put a little bit of that on there. A little bit of this. We're making it work. We're making it work. I think that sauce is going to taste good. And I think we could also take out our hearts of palm. So, we put our pineapple salsa. We kind of building it up. We built, you know, the bottom up. So now I'm going to turn off my hearts of palm. And I'm going to let it rest. It looks really good. Oops. I'm just going to let it rest on here. I've also learned that if you leave it in the seasoning a little longer, it really picks up the flavor. So if you have more time on your hands, say you're kind of like, oh, I'm going to make, you know, vegan fish tacos later on tonight. You could make the seasoning earlier on, you know, you let it sit, you go about your business, and then later on when you're ready to make it all come true, to make dinner or lunch or whatever, then it's already seasoned and ready for you. So boom, our heart to palm are great. I'm just gonna let it kind of sit over here. Let it, you know, chill for a little bit. Let's see. Let's put some of our plantains on our plate to make it look good. Oh, okay. All right. All right. And we're gonna add our heart to palm. Definitely, if you have more time, let it sit on some boom, boom. If you have more time, definitely let it sit on, you know, let it soak up some of that oil. But this one looks good so far. Boom, it looks delicious. And then all we have to do is add our pickles. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Fahrenheit TV. I hope that you will enjoy this vegan meal, and we will see you next month. Thank you for tuning in. It's delicious. Yum.
Fahrenheit TV.